Welcome back, everybody. I want to let you know that Sodak Pete now has his own YouTube channel called Adventures with Sodak Pete. We started a new channel for Pete so that all of the channel and video descriptions and hashtags could be focused directly on his adventures. And hopefully, our hopes are that more people will find Sodak Pete and enjoy his adventures with us. For the month of July, you'll be able to find all Sodak Pete's new videos and his old ones on Ranching Sodak and on the new channel called Adventures with Sodak Pete. In August, we will start to post all the new videos only on the new channel Adventures with Sodak Pete. So, if you've been watching Sodak Pete on Ranching Sodak, thank you. We love having you watch it. We love the comments. I'm really enjoying writing these stories and creating the images with the help of all the technology that's available today. So, we're excited that you're enjoying these, and we hope that you'll find us and follow us on our new channel called Adventures with Sodak Pete. See you there. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Sassy Pants, wife to Matty the rancher, and I'll be your storyteller today. Welcome to Adventures with Sodak Pete, stories that celebrate the hard work, big hearts, and wide open spaces of ranch life. Out here, every day is an adventure, and we hope each and every one of you listening can imagine yourself as little Sodak Pete, learning the ropes, getting your hands a little dirty, and helping out where it counts. So grab your boots, tip your hat, and let's see what today's adventure has in store. Sodak Pete, planting corn at the ranch. As May rolls around in South Dakota, the ground's warming up, the birds are singing, the grass is growing like it's in a race. That's when ranchers know it's corn planting time. Sodak Pete burst out of the cabin door with his boots a-clumping and Millie, his little cowdog, zipping after him. "Mornin'," he hollered, arms wide like he was greeting the whole ranch. Matty stood by the tractor, squinting at the sky and kicking at the dirt. "We have just the right amount of moisture, the sun is out, and I think the ground is ready." Pete leaned over and poked his finger into the dirt. "Yep, feels like growing weather to me." Matty grinned. "Let's get after it." Matty grabbed a stick and crouched down beside the tractor tire. He scratched a wiggly little map right into the dirt. "See, right here's the barn," he said, making a square, "and this long part's the field we're planting today, just east of the ranch yard." Pete plopped down beside him, boots kicking up the dust. "Why don't you plant way out yonder in the back pasture, Matty?" Matty grinned, "'Cause come fall, we'll be chopping this corn for silage. And trust me, it's a whole lot easier cutting silage and hauling it home when the field is close to the yard." Pete nodded like it made perfect sense. "Yeah, that would save a bunch of time, wouldn't it?" Matty tapped the dirt map and smiled. "You got it. Ranch smarts matter, even before the seeds go in." Millie gave a happy bark and trotted right across the dirt, smudging the map with her paws. Pete laughed. "Guess she wants to plant right now." Matty opened up a bag of seed corn and showed Pete a handful, bright yellow, kind of like little golden teeth. "These little fellas got to be planted just right," Matty said. Pete leaned in close. "How deep do you plant them, Matty?" Matty held his fingers about 2 inches apart, not too deep, not too shallow, about this far, just enough to keep them safe and strong. Pete grinned, "Like tucking a baby calf into a warm bed of straw?" Matty chuckled. "Exactly. If they're too deep, they might not sprout. If they're too shallow, they might dry out or fall over in the wind." Pete looked serious. "So we tuck them in nice and snug, about 2 inches deep." Millie barked and kicked up a little spray of dirt with her paws. "Millie's planting in her own way," Pete laughed. Before they fired up the tractor, Matty stuck in a shiny little thermometer down into the soil. Pete watched close. "Are you checking the dirt for a fever?" Matty laughed. "Well, kinda. Corn won't grow if the soil's too cold. We gotta wait till it's warm enough to wake those seeds up." Pete squatted down and he kinda poked at the ground with his finger. "Well, it feels kinda cool to me," he said. Matty nodded. "I think it's about right. Corn likes cozy dirt, like a warm quilt, you know, for the seeds." Pete sat back on his boots. "So we wait till the dirt says, 'I'm ready'?" Matty smiled. "That's right, partner. We don't rush the land. We listen to it." Millie flopped in the sun and rolled belly up with all 4 legs shaking in the dust. "She's ready," Pete said. Matty chuckled. "I think she always is." Matty grabbed a big bag of corn seed and he read the tag. "This kind grows tall," he said, "with big old leaves and long, heavy ears of corn." Pete reached into the sack and grabbed a handful of seeds. "So we're growing corn that's extra big?" "Well, kind of," Matty said. "It's not sweet corn for folks to eat. This is going to be feed for the cows. We want lots of leaves and lots of kernels of corn. That's what gives the cows energy when winter rolls around." Pete tossed a seed into the air and he caught it. "So, we want lots of corn to grow so we can make a really big pile of silage. Right, Matty?" Matty laughed. "Pretty much. The more we grow, the more we can chop into silage come fall. That means full bellies for all of our cows next winter." Millie sniffed the seed bag and she sneezed. "Even Millie's excited," Pete grinned. Matty climbed into the tractor cab and reached down to hand. "Hop in, partner." Pete grabbed hold and scrambled up beside him. Boots were thunking on the metal floor. With a low rumble, the tractor fired up, the planter clicked and clanked behind them, ready to roll. Pete's eyes were wide. "So we just drive up and down and drop the seeds in?" Matty nodded. "Yep." The planter tucks each one of them in, 2 inches deep, row by row. Pete looked out the window, watching the rows form behind them. "Look at that! It's like we're drawing straight lines of cow food." Millie trotted alongside, ears flopping in the wind. "She's checking her work," Matty said with a grin. By late afternoon, the field was full of tidy rows, each one packed with promise. Matty turned off the tractor and tipped his hat back. "Whew, that's a good day's work." Pete jumped down and landed with a puff of dust. He looked out over the field, hands on his hips. "It just looks like dirt now," he said, "but I know what's under there." Matty smiled. "Yep, looks like work today, but it's supper for the cows next winter." Pete nodded slow. A whole field of cow dinners, all tucked in tight. Millie gave a little bark, like she agreed with Pete. Pete stood quiet for a moment, just thinking. Then he said, "Feels like we did something pretty important today." "We sure did," Matty said, as they headed for the ranch yard to find some supper. As the sun slipped behind the hills, the porch lights clicked on one by one. Pete sat on the porch steps with Millie curled up beside him. Both of them were tired and dusty. I handed Pete a glass of lemonade and gave his shoulder a squeeze. "Proud of you, Pete. You worked hard today." He took a sip and he nodded. "We planted a whole field, and we didn't even see a single ear of corn." I smiled. That's the thing about ranch life. You do the work now, and you trust the good Lord to grow it. Pete looked out toward the darkening field. "I hope it grows tall and strong." I looked out with him. "It will. You planted it with care and with purpose." The stars began to twinkle overhead. "Thanks for teaching me about planting corn, Matty," Pete said. Matty patted Pete on the shoulder, smiling, and he said, "It feels good to work together. Thanks for your help." We sat there quiet for a minute, listening to the coyotes howl on a far hill. And I thought, what a blessing it is, the way that seeds grow, the way that people work together, and the way that the good Lord provides. Thanks for riding along with us today. Sodak Pete and I hope you'll join us on our next adventure.